Back inside the Coordinator's Corner, presented by JCW's The Burger Boys. We are live in Studio C at the beautiful BYU Broadcasting building in Provo, as we are every Monday during game week. And on this week's show, we visit with Special Teams Coordinator Ed Lamb and Defensive Coordinator Elisa Tuiaki. As always, we invite your questions for the coaches. You can submit them using hashtag #CCBYU. And we'll get to your questions a little bit later on in the broadcast. We kick off today's show by saying hello to Special Teams Coordinator, Linebackers Coach, and Assistant Head Coach Ed Lamb. Hello, Ed.
Oh, glad to be here as always.
So every win is a good win, of course. Just so happens that certain wins feel a little better than others. And Saturday night felt pretty great in Knoxville.
It was great. The come from behind victories always are exciting. And from my perspective, the way that the team played together until the end, that was really, I thought, the number one thing we needed to address defensively and with our special teams from week 1 to week 2 was just playing hard regardless of score, playing hard regardless of situation. And I thought that our guys did that till the very end. And I thought that the whole team believed in each other all the way until the end, and it showed.
It was a double-digit comeback, and those are kind of rare and very satisfying. Similarities, perhaps. We maybe alluded to it last week. The setup, at least. Last year, you lost a home opener against a P5. Then we had to go on the road the very next week, far from home, play another tough P5, and that was the Wisconsin game. You won that game. Setup was a little bit different opponents, but still, you lost a home opener, disappointing. Had to go on the road, take on another P5. You've already won under duress against good teams in the past, and you guys did kind of the same thing.
We did, and I thought this one had the added element of, I think we took Tennessee's best shot for really 2 quarters. And the Wisconsin game, we jumped out to an early lead, and we were competitive the whole time. Our team was up and excited the whole time. I think there was never any doubt in that game because of the way the game went. We got some early stops too in that game, but in this game, we got scored on right away. The communication was an issue for our offense and our defense, which is usually not an issue. We had some snap problems.
The noise, right?
Crowd noise. And Tennessee came out just completely more aggressive on offense and defense, more aggressive in scheme, more aggressive in the way they played. Credit the offense. I thought there at the end of the second quarter and through the second half, we began to use Tennessee's aggression and speed against them, and I thought that was really the key turning point in the game. But defensively, we had to gather ourselves. Offensively, special teams as well. They had great returners. Our kickers did a great job of keeping them out of the game. It was just a hard-fought battle from behind the whole game.
And it wasn't, if we look a little closer at the game now, it wasn't the fastest of starts for BYU. Tennessee, as you mentioned, scored first in kind of a fluky way, too. Your inside linebacker, Kavika Fonua, was in position to make a play, and he kind of makes it, but he gets a bad bounce.
He did, yeah. He made the play, and a lot of times it's in that situation you're hoping that we can turn a batted ball into an interception. But in this case, he could barely get one hand up, was caught on the wrong foot a little bit. We had great coverage to the intended receiver. You can see Isaiah Heron there in the back is making a great play on the intended receiver. It just didn't work out in our favor, and there's always a little bit of luck both ways in each game.
Yeah, that tight end was covered well in the back of the end zone. Of course, it goes to the guy that happens to be at the right place, for them at least. BYU did get in the red zone in the second possession of the game, and then Jake Oldroyd keeps your red zone scoring streak alive with a 31-yard field goal. Another strong start for Jake. And he really has been, we're 2 games in, one of the most consistent players on your team. He'd have a bigger role later, of course.
Yeah, he has been. He's got ice in his veins. When we try to create stress in practice, either by bringing the whole team in or getting some kind of competitive situation, he's at his best, and it appears that he's like that in the games as well.
Now, BYU trails 7-3 after 1 in this game. Now, the Vols had 3 second-quarter possessions. BYU gets a 4th down stop on one of them, and then holds Tennessee to field goal tries inside the 35 on the other 2. So, while BYU get to get going on offense, Tennessee wasn't getting away from you. Defense was keeping you guys in the game.
Yeah, defense was playing really hard. We weren't playing the speed of the game. I thought Tennessee came out more aggressive. They came out and ran the ball more off tackle than they had, and so I didn't think our guys were as prepared as they should have been from a coaching standpoint for the off tackle play. A big part of that is at the linebackers. I thought we didn't hold up well in the first half there on the off tackle play. Made some corrections at halftime, and I think our guys got used to the speed of the game, and I thought we were much better in the second half. But too many big plays against the defense, particularly off tackle runs.
There was a big play right before halftime, though, by the defense. Austin Lee, who had a really nice night, too, with a pass break up in the end zone. Juwan Jennings has two hands. He thinks he's got a touchdown, and then Austin Lee took it away. Yeah, great job by Austin. It was a zone defense, and Austin had his eyes on the quarterback, which is what we're supposed to do. The big issue there for us schematically is Austin should have never been counted on to make that play. We should have had a safety in the deep middle of the field, and he came out of his coverage a little bit, and Austin protected him. So, yeah, that's one thing. See the pump fake right there by the quarterback? So he pump faked one safety, but he also pump faked the other safety and didn't really account for that. Austin did a great job. If he would not have been looking at the quarterback, it would have been a touchdown. And so while BYU's down 10, again, things haven't really gotten away from you. And offensively, not a lot happening, but also no turnovers. It was a clean half that way. Yeah, we feel really good. Coach Grimes talks about it all the time to our offenses, say, hey, we've got a good football team. We can play defense, keep the ball in front of us. We've got a good punter that can flip the field. Priority number one is to keep possession of the football. And then I thought our offense did obviously a great job of that the whole game, kept us in it. What adjustments were to be made when you guys went in at halftime down 13-3? Number one thing we had to do was get a little more reaction out of the linebacker spot on outside run, on off tackle run to the perimeter. We were playing it more like inside run, and it was costing us. It was causing our secondary to have to shed blocks sooner than we would normally ask them to do, and they were basically just beating us on the perimeter. Once that was shored up, that was a lot better from a defensive standpoint. Didn't make any schematic adjustments. And then, as I said, offensively, I thought really was some point in the second quarter where we began to use Tennessee's speed and aggression really more against them. And Zach did a great job of pulling out some handoffs and throwing some short passes that turned into medium to longer gains. It was a much better game for BYU after halftime offensively and into the overtime, which we will get to. When we come back, the comeback, how BYU rallied for an overtime win in Knoxville. And we look at a pair of players of the week, even more players of the week on special teams and offense. As we head to break, a reminder about BYU football with Kalani Sitake Tuesdays at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on the BYU TV app, and then Wednesdays at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on BYU TV. Tomorrow's player guest, by the way, is Micah Simon. More from him a little later, and more with Coach Lamb is coming up next. You're in the Coordinator's Corner, brought to you by JCW's The Burger Boys. Back with more right after this.
Excited for the reboot. The teaser looks really good. So
Sammy, are these yours?
Mom, what are you doing here?
Can't a mom just drop in on her special snowflake?
No, really, what are you doing here?
I'm moving in with your sister to make sure you two eat healthy.
We know how to feed ourselves.
Just like you know how to decorate. Don't worry, I took care of that too. The girls are gonna love it.
BYU meal plans. Home cooking without mom.
Her mother says, you can't marry him, you haven't known him long enough. Now look at it, almost 7 years.
We have 33 grandchildren.
The Lord's blessed us in many ways.
I can't believe that it's been almost 70 years ago that I married him. And he makes every day of my life a happy one. We're the Gandys.
And our wife is our family tree.
I fix to make things better.
I fix because I want to.
Because I can.
Because somebody has to.
Because it's my responsibility.
I fix because when there's a problem for someone else,
it's my problem.
And I don't like having problems.
So I fix them.
I fix because humanity is made of humans.
And sometimes people just need a boost.
To reach the highest branches of the tree.
And the fruits of their labors
become the fruits of my labor.
That's why
I'm a fixer.
I believe fate brought us together. How so? If we switched, sooner or later they'd have to unswitch us. Mother would have to bring me to California to unmix us. And they'd have to meet again, face to face. Let's get together, yeah, yeah, yeah. Why did you and I combine? Let's get together, what do you say? We could have a swinging time. We'd be a crazy team.
To get the game to overtime, Jake Oldroyd, the right-footed kicker. Snap, hold, kick on its way.
Money.
It is through for three. Jake the Make does it again. Welcome back to the Coordinator's Corner. That was how BYU ultimately got from down 10 to overtime this past Saturday night in Knoxville. The Cougs would then go on to a 29-26 win in double OT, but some more on how we got there as we visit with Coach and Special Teams Coordinator Ed Lamb. Special Teams, obviously, huge part of the comeback, but BYU's one defensive takeaway, and there was just one in the game, and then the turnover-free game on offense, equally huge. And the comeback essentially starts with that one takeaway. Kavika Fonua picks off a pass early in the third quarter. It was the spark I think you guys are looking for.
Yeah, Kavika's really, he does such a great job of reading the quarterback's eyes. He has a great feel for the game of football. Football IQ, we call it. He just has a great sense for where the quarterback's looking, where he's going. He did it on their first touchdown, and it didn't pay off our way, but you can see him right here. He never takes his eyes off the quarterback. The quarterback never sees him, and that's exactly the job that he was supposed to do, is patrol the medium range middle of the field right there. And where guys get into trouble sometimes at the linebacker spot is they want to look up routes, see if there's a crossing route, see if there's a bender route. Kavika never took his eyes off the quarterback and just had a sense for where the ball was going.
And one of those guys who's played both sides of the ball, good hands, knows what to do with it when he gets it.
That's right. Yeah, he's got incredible speed. I've talked about it before. Sometimes I've underestimated how fast he is because he's so smooth when he runs. He covers a lot of ground with his strides.
Now, Taesan Williams' first touchdown came soon thereafter, makes it 13-10 Tennessee ballgame. Now we're in it. Both teams then exchange field goals over the third and the fourth quarters. It sets up the last-minute dramatics. But first, and this is an important first, BYU had to keep Tennessee from running out the clock, which they had a chance to do late in the game, right?
Yeah, we had a couple of timeouts in our pocket. We always like to save those for offense, but the situation didn't allow. And so, you know, we had a fourth down situation where it was fourth and medium, and there's a chance we could have got a first down right there, but the decision was made, punt the ball and pin them. Playing, that's called 4-minute defense, right? There's roughly 4 minutes left to go in the game, and we called it that situation. The offensive mentality changes dramatically when they're backed up in a 4-minute situation as opposed to taking possession at midfield. So, I think sometimes people think, well, you have two chances if you go for it on fourth there and don't make it, you got to stop them anyway.
Right.
Yeah, stopping them on our half of the 50 is a lot different than stopping them when they're backed up. The pressure on the offense mounts considerably. So it was the decision that worked. That's the way we say it in coaching, because the right and wrong decision doesn't matter. It's the decision that worked. Credit Coach Satake with that. And a heck of a job by the defense of just getting more and more stout against Tennessee's run as the game went on.
Ultimately, BYU does get the ball back on offense, deep in its own zone now, minute to play, and you need a field goal. You're on the 16-yard line when the series starts, but a holding penalty, and now you're on the 8. You're 92 yards away from the end zone. Now, you don't need to go all the way to get in field goal territory, mind you, but it's a rough spot. You need 60-plus yards to get into field goal range, and you got there in just 2 plays, including the play of Micah Simon's career, which we're going to see here probably shortly. But again, it was a grind at this point. You're thinking, are we going to be able to get to where we need to go here?
Yeah, it was, and that's when you say a grind, every play had to be beyond the first down marker. This one right here ended up running off almost 30 seconds. Yeah. And so at this point, every play has to be beyond the first down marker to at least temporarily stop the clock. Just a huge play right there by Micah, by Zach, and really by Matt Bushman, who drew coverage away from Micah. Tremendous play, and then a clutch make right there. From this angle, it looked like it was right over the upright. If the camera would have been over the left upright, I think we'd have seen a little different angle there.
And that came after the clock play to get downfield. Make sure you clock it. You had enough time to do that, mind you. Yeah. And by the way, just for the record in the rule book, if a kick goes over the height of the upright and there's a dispute whether it's in or out, you cannot go to video or check it out. It's purely a judgment call. If there's proof that it's below the height of the top of the upright, then you can go and check it out. But if it's over, you got to hope that the referee saw what you hope he saw. And it's a little dicier there, but you said in real time, in the real view, it's a little cleaner.
Yeah, we were to the camera angle that we just saw, at least on the video, was in the middle of the uprights, and the ball went over the left upright as the camera was facing it, and so it's going to look like it's a little wider than it was. There was not much margin for error there at all. We'd like to put them right down the middle. It certainly was not right down the middle.
It did get you to overtime. Let's talk a bit about Jake Oldroyd. I kind of had reminiscences of your first game on the BYU staff, which was a last-minute drive to get into position for a game-winning field goal, mind you, but similar. And yet there was composure. Wasn't a lot of panic, and then you bring in a guy who at that time hadn't kicked, made it, and this time, still in a limited number of games, comes out and makes it. In both games, Arizona in 16 and Tennessee on Saturday, everything you needed to get done got done at the right time.
Yeah, he's Jake the Make is the nickname here, and that's a better camera angle right there. You can see it's a little more in, but yeah, he, he's just always impressed me as a very cerebral player at his position. He thinks about it, he studies it, and he has great confidence in himself when he gets up there. He's not hoping. He expects to make every kick and every punt, and he's been a tremendous weapon for us so far.
And he's had 5 games as a BYU Cougar, when you can include his 3 as a freshman and now 2 post-mission. And if you take away the 55-yard try against UCLA 3 years ago that was blocked, every kick that he's taken that's gotten to the uprights has gone through the uprights. And you'll take that from your place kicker.
Absolutely, yeah. Love his range, love his competitiveness and his results.
Now, and it's kind of funny. He was on the Satake show with us last week, explaining how truly, on that first trip to Arizona, nobody knew who he was.
Yes.
I mean, there were a handful of people, but very people know who the guy was.
Yeah, it was. I think it was pretty much just Kalani and I that knew who he was as far as guys on the team. And when we said going down that final drive, like, yeah, I think Jake's the guy to put this one through right here. He's, and he had shown it in practice. Mm-hmm. It's just we went with the returning starter, and that returning starter hadn't missed yet in the game, but just felt like Jake had the best opportunity, and fortunately he made the kick.
So Mitchell Juergens, part of our radio broadcast crew, we were talking post-game on the air about that Arizona kick that won the game, and of course Mitch held for Jake. Yeah. He said he'd never held for Jake Oldroyd, even in camp. Yeah. He was holding for the other guy, and then he'd go be on offense when Jake was kicking. So he'd never even held for the guy.
That's right.
And so he said that Ed said, let's get a couple practice snaps in, and that was it before Mitch was holding for that game winner back in 16.
That's
Great story.
Exactly right.
All right, time now to shine a light on some players of the week as picked by the coordinators. You're the special teams coordinator. Jake's kind of maybe an obvious look, but you looked at 3 guys on special teams that you want to recognize.
Yeah, Jake was the player of the game, but this week I wanted to get back to the old days. When I was a player here, we had 2 awards for every special teams week. One called the top rock, and that was the best coverage guy of the game or coverage player of the game, and then there was one called the top block. And I wanted to bring that back this week. The top block was Tyler Algier, who did just a tremendous job blocking. I mean, I'm surprised that our offensive line coach is not trying to steal him away. He did a great job blocking on punt, but then covering as well. He's just been huge in his special teams role. And then Zane Anderson, it was one of the all-time highlights on punt. I think it was a 56-yard punt or something, and Zane got all the way down the field with a lot of speed. They had a great punt returner, and he tackled him for basically a loss.
Special teams players of the week, there you go. Offense, Coach Jeff Grimes gave us this guy. He's Micah Simon.
Yeah, Micah, I have always felt like when I was a head coach, the toughness of a team comes not from the offensive line and the defensive line or the linebackers. It comes from the receivers and the running backs. And I feel like that defensively, the whole team is on the sideline just watching for toughness. And usually I would say a receiver shows that through his blocking and yards after catch, but Michael was just so mentally tough in this game. I mean, every catch was huge. Every catch was with pressure. The yards after the catch right here was the key to the game.
Right.
If we have to spike that thing at the 45-yard line where he actually caught it, but he kept his feet, kept going, clutch guy, and so happy for him personally because he's one of the more enjoyable players to work with.
That's the thing. From a personal standpoint, a redshirt senior, a guy that's been around, paid his dues, and is having what appears to be, at least to this point, kind of a breakout year, and that's what you want a senior to be in a chance to do.
Yeah,
right?
I think if you talk to him, he would say his breakout as a contributor was last year. He started to just really realize his potential on our kickoff team. And he ended up one of the top performers on the kickoff team, made some huge highlight plays deep in the opponent's territory. And I thought his confidence grew at that point, and maybe our confidence in him as coaches grew, and he's just carried that momentum right through.
We saw on the screen there Micah smiling on the sidelines, and Micah smiling is a pretty constant feature.
It is, yeah. He's a tremendous leader for us in that way.
Great kid. All right, Neyland Stadium. You got to see it from up on high as we did. Thousands and thousands of BYU fans. It's a sea of orange and big patches of blue. What a great representation, turnout, and really kind of motivator for the guys. I thought the crowd support was tremendous.
Yeah, fantastic. What a challenge for our guys. The volume of the noise, the magnitude of the stadium, the support that Tennessee had, and the way that they were playing. I mean, that was a desperate team playing their best game of football, in my opinion.
Postgame celebrations on the field with your fans in someone else's venue. It feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Oh, that's fantastic. There were two sections of our fans, but the ones that, by the time I got down from the press box, the coach's box, the fans that were still mostly there were the ones way up in the corner on the second deck, and they looked like they were a mile away. But we could hear them, and I think they could hear us. It was a lot of fun.
Kalani said the team had to sing the fight song twice because there were that many fans that stuck around. By the way, Kalani was in a boot coming home. Was that a post-game celebration injury from Kalani, or how would that go?
I think it happened twice. Yeah, I think on Micah's pass, what the coaches, if you see it, usually what you'll see coaches do is immediately get all the players back, and we're trying to hold ourselves back too. And I think he got rolled on somebody's foot at that point, and then rolled it again just in the celebration at the very end.
He took one for the team a couple times.
He took one for the team, and he was glad to do it. And yeah, he'll be back strong.
As I mentioned at the very start, again, every win is going to be credited for the effort it takes to get it. But certain nights are special, and you got to fly home and think more about it. But that was just a special night of BYU football on the checkerboard, SEC country, and doing what you did. I mean, I know the fans on social media were just buzzing for hours and hours after the game. Just a wonderful night.
Exactly what our team needed from a team chemistry standpoint, for the defense to rise to the challenge of playing the whole game from behind. We didn't tie that up until the final second. We trailed from the first drive to the final second of the game. For the offense to come through in the clutch, that's exactly what our team needed.
Great night. Well, break time once again. And a reminder that dinner after the game at JCW's includes something for everybody, from burgers to wings, shakes to salads. JCW's, quality and a lot of it in Lehigh, American Fork, Provo, South Jordan, and coming soon to Harriman. Coming up Saturday, it is BYU home to 24th-ranked USC. BYU radio coverage begins with Cougar pregame live at 1:30 Eastern. The kick at 3:30 Eastern on BYU Radio, the game on the ESPN family of networks. Coming up next, your questions for special teams coordinator Ed Lamb, and a look ahead to USC. You are in the Coordinator's Corner, brought to you by JCW's The Burger Boys. Back with more in Studio C after this.
Dexter & Dexter is a full-service law firm offering a wide range of legal services. Since 1995, we have helped more than 20,000 Utahns both to navigate life's challenges and to make the most of life's opportunities. From accidents to wills, from bankruptcy to business law, we are passionate about shouldering your burdens. To learn more about scheduling a no-obligation consultation, visit dexterlaw.com.
Luxurious blanket. Getting cozy with family and friends. A gift for everyone. Minky Couture, official luxury blanket of BYU Athletics.
This is Battle of the Ages. Two families are going to battle it out in fun and intense games for a chance to win $10,000. Ta-da! Your job is to smack the correct fact. Yes! You are correct. You just made an extra $1,000 in 15 seconds. Nicely done.
So I hear you've got a new show. I'm on a new show called Making Good. I go around the country and I find people that are making a difference in their community. It's the best thing I've ever been a part of. You can tell you're having a lot of fun. It is so much fun. Hey, wake up! The boom's in the shot! Hello? Let me check. Is there a Kirby here?
Twins to either side. Snap Zach, handoff Taesan to the 5-4-3. Pila's pushing. He gets to the goal line.
He's in.
No signal.
He's in.
They mark him short, but he's
Touchdown,
in the end zone.
touchdown.
Touchdown! They signal touchdown. He got in, and the Cougars win. The Cougars have done it, coming into SEC country and winning it in overtime. 29-26, Tyson with the knockout punch.
You are in the Coordinator's Corner, brought to you by JCW's The Burger Boys. We were talking off the air about that particular play, Coach Lamb, and you know, Tennessee's off to an 0-2 start, and they're struggling and wondering when that win's going to come. That's still a talented football team, and when you recruit an SEC defensive line, you've gotten some great players in that group. And at the end of the game, it's O-line versus D-line, it's tight ends, it's everyone kind of, and it's body against body. And BYU ends up pushing that group of good players backwards for the score.
They did. What a tremendous job by our offensive line for Taesan to stay up and keep pushing, and just a great way to finish a game from a momentum standpoint. Really a bounce-back week for us.
That was how the Cougars blew the top off Rocky Top for thousands of those BYU fans in Knoxville. Now it's another home game and another Pac-12 team at home. You will have USC this Saturday, and as we see more of how BYU wrap things up there in Knoxville, the next task is now USC. And they took a close game against Stanford on the weekend and blew it kind of wide open with a true freshman quarterback at the helm right now. Very impressive.
Yeah, they sure did. And the quarterback is just, I mean, what we see so far is he just does a great job of operating that offense. He gets the ball out on time, makes great reads. It looks like his pre-snap and post-snap reads are really on point. And it tells me that, you know, offensively what they do is really what they do. And you see that from the offensive coordinator. The playbook is the same from North Texas to USC, from game 1 against Fresno to game 2, Stanford. You know, they really believe in what they do. I think all of their players know it inside and out, and so the execution is what really gives them the edge.
That was a one-score game at the break against Stanford. Stanford was, by the way, ranked at that time, and USC was not. Now USC is in the top 25. It was a 21-0 second half run for the Trojans. So they'll come in now at the 2-0. They beat Fresno in the opener, right? And then the Stanford win. And then they get to BYU and Utah, I think it turns out, in back-to-back weeks. First time these two teams have met, Coach Lamb, in a long time was 2004, the last time BYU and USC got together. Those were the Reggie Bush years. Those were something else. And USC is, I guess, like playing at Tennessee. USC is something special for your guys to look to on the schedule.
It is. Any of the teams that are getting national coverage year to year, growing up, those are the, before you really maybe decide which college you're going to go to as a young football player, those are the schools that you see and you're exposed to. And so it's a tremendous game opportunity for our guys when we get to play against teams like that. And I think the motivation takes care of itself, and it's another home game for us, another opportunity to show that we're improving, and be a tremendous challenge.
You know enough about USC already early in the week. What's the biggest difference from what you just went through against Tennessee to playing USC this week in terms of either stylistics or what has to get done?
I think, I think from a style standpoint, Tennessee's offense really came out and wanted to establish the off-tackle run with big personnel and multiple tight ends, and they did a great job of putting us on our heels. We had to really take the whole field to get stops. USC, it will be most likely a little bit more of the rhythm passing game, the controlled passing game, and they do a tremendous job of that. So I think we have to shift gears a little bit. We can't get caught trying to make too many adjustments from last game, expecting those to carry over this game. It's a new set of challenges, a new offense with different strengths. Not that they couldn't get big and really try to test us in the running game. We'd have to be prepared for that. Defensively, with our offense against their defense, I think there's going to be some similarities in that it's an aggressive defense with a lot of speed, a lot of ability, and our offense will have to be up for the challenge.
Okay. Certainly, USC's offense, and you alluded to it, much more pass heavy than either of the first two teams, Utah and Tennessee. You're going to see a lot more balls in the air this week.
We will. Yeah, our secondary will really be tested, and our pass rush.
Social media question from @BlueFalcon1594. BYU's defense has done the job to keep the offense in the game to win. Which positions have stood out to you that can account for the defense's success through 2 games?
I think that's a great question. I feel like that it's team defense right now. There have been times, as much as we've been on the field, and for the length of drives that we've been on the field, it's taken more than 11 guys. It's taken more than 1 or 2 key plays. It's been 22, 24 guys hanging in there together, and we're playing multiple cornerbacks. A lot of them are young. Most of our linebackers, besides Kavika and Isaiah, are all freshmen. The defensive line's rotating in there, and guys are just finding a way to keep the ball in front of us and then tighten up down there in the red zone. It's not the exact design, but it's design. It's option 1B as opposed to the next option. You give up big plays, And the guys have just done a tremendous job keeping the ball in front of them.
To your first point, you have defended a lot of snaps. The opposing offense has been on the field 20 minutes longer through 2 games than BYU's offense. You've defended 26 more plays than the opposing defense as well. It's always, no matter how you win, just win. But it'd be nice to have a little more possession maybe and give your defense maybe a little bit of a break. Yeah, and there's multiple ways to chase that. You know, one way is getting off the field faster on defense, and like I say, yeah, things like that.
Yeah, the priority plan is to get 3 and outs and get turnovers and give our offense more opportunities for more time of possession. You know, we don't always want to risk giving up 75-yard touchdowns because we get so aggressive in what we do. So Coach Tuiaki's done a great job of balancing when to get aggressive and when to keep the ball in front of us. We've kept the scores down. 2 touchdowns in regulation now on the season, I think, is all we've given up. And tremendous job by the defenders on that. You mentioned Coach Tuiaki, and he is coming up next. So thanks to you. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. All right. Good luck this weekend. Thank you. All right. All right, BYU TV will tune you up for BYU and USC this Saturday at Wrubell Stadium. Watch Countdown to Kickoff Saturday at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. The game will be on ABC and BYU Radio with BYU TV returning for post-game coverage afterwards. Coming up next, it is defensive coordinator Eli Tuiaki joining us in the Coordinator's Corner here live from Studio C on BYU TV. Coach E is next.
They prefer to be bringing the heat, getting set for success, demonstrating their drive. But when their blood and sweat turns to tears or anything else, we lay the groundwork for BYU's athletes to hit the ground running again, and you as well. Intermountain Healthcare, official medical provider for BYU Athletics.
My brother is about to marry the girl who single-handedly ruined my life in high school.
You two are completely out of control. You're grounded. Go to your rooms.
We got a major storm coming in.
What are we gonna do about the dogs, Andy?
We can't just leave them out there. There's nothing I can do. You were born to be hockey players. Every one of you.
If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. Not this game.
Do you know how many guys can throw the ball 98 miles an hour?
Not many.
You can count them on one hand.
We're in the Coordinator's Corner, brought to you by JCW's The Burger Boys. And to start our second half hour, we welcome in defensive coordinator Eli Tuiaki. Hey, Coach E, how are you?
Good to be back.
Pretty good Monday after what happened Saturday.
It was a crazy Saturday. It was much needed for our team, though.
So coming off the season opening loss, what was your personal approach, and what did you want to kind of convey to your guys as you get ready to take on Tennessee, a team that was as disappointed as you guys were after week 1?
Yeah, we just really wanted to come back and correct our mistakes from week 1 and just have, be better about it week 2. And we ended up just tallying 29 tackles in week 1 and 29 missed tackles, sorry. And this week we had 12 missed tackles, and it was more of probably missed assignments that led to big plays for us this last week. Thought the tackling was better, but it was just, the boys played hard and tackled better, but we got to continue to get better as well.
BYU ends up scoring 29 points, but it took 2 overtimes to get there. This was a low-scoring defensive affair throughout from start to finish, basically.
Yeah, it was. I thought that it was exactly how we needed to win. I thought that we needed the defense to hang on all the way to the end and just keep battling. We needed the offense to hold on to the ball, not turn it over, and then come through and win the game at the end. And I think that was huge for our confidence as a team, just for the defense to know that they can just keep battling and try to get some takeaways and hang in there, and that the offense will come through. So that was huge for us.
And whether on 3rd down or 4th down, I thought BYU was particularly tough on defense. The Vols combined to go 6 for 19 on 3rd and 4th. Your guys made it very, very tough for Tennessee to gain, let's call them the hard yards on Saturday night.
Yeah. You know, we went back and just looked at all the stuff that we need to do. We have to be better on 1st down, and obviously to put them in long situations. But I thought the boys battled hard on those critical situations, 3rd down, 4th down. Came up with some stops, forced some field goals in the red zone, which was huge for us.
That's the thing too. There were times earlier in the game, let's say first half, when the offense isn't doing a lot yet, and their defense was kind of clicking it, but when they got inside the 35, they weren't able to get into the end zone. You held them 2 field goals, keeping it a 1-score game, or nothing more than, say, a 10-point deficit when things might have gotten away a little bit. I thought the first half was key to keeping you guys where you needed to be.
It was huge, you know, with the 4th down stops, you know, throughout the game, but we had the one that, you know, on one of the drives where we ended up keeping them from getting the 1st down. That could have ended up being a field goal or a touchdown, stopping that 4th down. But then the other one that they had, you know, they were one of 3 on 4th downs, was just a kind of a lucky tip, and it's just kind of the way that the ball ends up going. But we felt like we made them earn it, and that was kind of the theme for the day, was to hang in there, to keep battling, and to tackle, and I thought that they were a different team. It was a different team that we faced than what we saw on film. They were physical. They played hard. They knew what they wanted to be.
They got woken up.
They did. And so it was 2 teams that showed up that badly needed a win, and it was a fierce battle, and it was a good game.
Down 10 points at halftime, as BYU was 13-3. What was being said amongst coaches and then to the players about what needed to happen in the second half?
It was mostly just the message in the locker room, at least on defense, was everything big that we gave up, we gave up. I mean, we shot ourselves in the foot with just some missed assignments in coverage, some missed assignments in the way that we were taking on blocks, and so we just had to be more sound, more disciplined with our assignments, and we felt like we would be in a good spot as long as we did that. And I thought that in the 3rd quarter we came out and did that. The boys played hard. We ended up getting a takeaway on the 1st drive, which was huge for the momentum of the game. The offense ended up scoring on it, and you know, we started to play a little bit more sound.
Let's go right there. One of the biggest plays of the night does happen on defense, and it was early in half number 2, 3rd quarter early on. Kavika Fonu's INT puts BYU in a great position to get on the board. Taesan gets you in. That's the game's only takeaway, and it changed the game, I thought. It put BYU right back in it.
It was. You look at it, it was our offense didn't give up the ball. Our defense ended up getting 1 take, and so I mean, that was a critical point in the game for us, just to get out and have a successful stop, you know, early in the 3rd quarter. And Kavika did a great job, just you know, playing all night.
How's it been having him back on your side of the ball?
It's been good. You know, he was with us for a year before he went over and played a little running back, but he's such a dynamic player and just, you know, really good athlete, and great personality just to have on our side of the ball.
So he sets you up in the red zone, and then a couple plays later, Taesan Williams is taking it in for his first touchdown of the night, short field touchdown, and now it's a 1-score game. You're within 13-10. It feels totally different. A bit about Taesan. You're a defensive coach, but you've seen enough of Taesan on the field to know that he can be a handful when he gets going. What a great addition to your team.
Yeah, he's been really good. I think the running back room in general, I mean, we've got a lot of depth there. We've got guys that can step in and play and do a good job. And so, you know, we were the Taesan for us. We never really got to see him until our first scrimmage in fall camp. And so that scrimmage that we had where he kind of shined, that's when we knew as a defense, okay, we've got a really good back in Taesan, and we're excited to watch him play.
There was one particular play, it might stand out to you, where he did a sidestep, made a guy miss, did a spinorama, got a couple guys downfield. It was one run that kind of showed everything he could do. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a big-time back, and it's good to have him on our side.
So many big plays were made by Taesan and others to get out of Knoxville with the win. You see some of what Taesan Williams did. When you include his reception number, you'll get him up to 100 yards on the dot on 20 touches on the dot and 2 touchdowns. So he has 3 touchdowns for BYU, 3 of the Cougars 4. Big plays on defense the rest of the way for BYU, kind of kind of were a hallmark in this one, and Austin Lee was making a lot of them all night long.
He made some phenomenal open field tackles that got us off the field on third downs and just did a really good job in tackling, you know, for the most part all night. And so,
how about this play in the end zone?
You know, that should have been. We had somebody that should have been in the middle of the field, and it was just you know, a guy not being where he needed to be. But Austin came up and got that out, and that really wasn't his play to make, but just because of his headsy play, he ended up saving us on that one.
And that was the only play he made. He was involved in, he mentioned his tackling. He was just a strong player, and he's not our player of the game for defense. We'll get to him in a second, and neither is this guy a player of the game for you on defense, but somebody that we're seeing a lot more of, and I don't know that anybody knew a lot about Atunaisa Mahe when the season began. And he is a player for you and has been on a lot of meaningful snaps. Tell us a bit about Atunaisa Mahe.
Yes, he's done a good job. You know, he redshirted last year. He came off his mission, and he got hurt during camp. And so he just had a sprained knee that kind of hemmed him up for a little bit. And so we decided to redshirt him, and he just got stronger over the offseason. He's a little ball of just, I mean, he's powerful, super powerful. And so
plays D tackle for you.
Plays defensive tackle, does a really good job, and it's hard because he's a little bit shorter. he leverages people just naturally because of his height, and does a good job. But he's a great kid as well. I mean, really obedient, just wants to you know, play for the team, and really unselfish kid. Does a good job.
You've given him responsibility too to go make plays, and he's making some.
Yeah, yep, he is. His you know, we cycle through a lot of defensive linemen throughout the game, and you know, obviously when you're playing a good team, there's going to be some good snaps and some bad snaps. But I thought that the D-line in general just played super hard. The whole defense in general, it was a physical game. I mean, there was a lot of guys that were kind of getting just banged up just from the physical play, and the backers, you know, battled. And Diane is another guy that you can say is probably a candidate for player of the game. There's so many of those guys. Bracken O'Backery in the defensive line room was a guy that stood out to me. JJ Nwigwe is you know, coming over and taking some significant snaps now and is playing and doing a good job.
You came out of it health-wise pretty good, as physical as it was?
We did. And so we've got to be smart about the way that we practice this week, just to make sure the boys are ready for this next game. But that was a physical game.
All right, brief timeout, and a reminder for our Cougar fans out there that this week we are giving away a beautiful commemorative BYU football helmet. Visit our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter page and follow the directions on our latest post for your chance to win a helmet signed by our own Coach Kalani Sitake. When we come back, Coach E on how BYU got to OT and then won it in Knoxville. Plus, we look at his defensive player of the game from Rocky Top. This is the Coordinator's Corner on BYU TV.
Like when I close my eyes and don't even care if anyone sees me dancing, like I can fly.
2019 BYU Spectacular featuring
American singer and songwriter Ben Rector along with Hillary Weeks joins a talented BYU lineup October 17th and 18th in the BYU Marriott Center. Get your tickets at BYUtickets.com.
Call it a path, or a way through. It can be arrow straight, or have twists and turns. It's life's financial journey, and Mountain America Credit Union is here to guide you every step of the way. With timely advice and affordable products, this is your journey. Let's begin together. We're Mountain America, guiding you forward.
Are you ready for an adventure?
I think.
Are you ready to step out of your comfort zone?
Woo! Childbirth was more fun.
Are you ready to do whatever I tell you to do?
Do I have a choice?
Not really.
What happens when you combine family, food, and fun? You get BYU TV's Dinner Takes All. The rules are simple. We take two families and their famous recipes and dishes. Each course is graded on presentation, creativity, and taste. But that's not all. While teams are cooking, individuals are pulled away to participate in games that award points to their final score. Their dishes are then judged for extra points. The team with the most points gets a whopping $10,000. Watch the Season 2 premiere of Dinner Takes All, only on BYU TV.
Trips left, including Jawan Jennings, who's having a big night so far. Garantano looks his way, goes middle, intercepted. Cougars pick it off. Kavika Fonua, 30, 25, 20. Cougars in business.
We continue on the Coordinator's Corner with defensive coordinator Elisa Tuiaki. We talked a lot with Ed Lamb in the last segment about his kicker and punter Jake Oldroyd. Going back to your first game on the BYU staff, that opener in 2016, you saw what Jake could do, and since he's gotten back from his mission, just keeps on doing it.
That's why he has that nickname. He's Jake the Make. Yep. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know his last name in the locker room. Everyone just calls him Jake the Make.
That's awesome. And we saw the Fonua interception. We'll get to more from Kavika here in a bit. But I want to hit Jake with you. He had the game-tying points with a second to play in regulation. But to give Jake the shot at a kick, the offense had to pull off kind of a minor miracle. You could just sit there and watch. You had to stand there and watch as Zach Wilson went to work on that long field in the closing seconds. Got back to the 8-yard line at one point after the hold. Time is running off, seconds ticking away, and you're a long ways away from field goal range. What were you seeing?
Never a doubt in my mind. that was crazy. It was nuts to just be a part of it. I've mentioned to you before we got back on. I've been a part of some crazy games, but I've also most of the time I'm always on the other end, and I mean it's awesome to see the boys pull it out. I mean that's nuts. That's just nuts. The amount of time that was left, no timeouts.
And like Ed said, if he catches it or if he's down where the ball's caught, if he gets tackled there, it's still going to be dicey. He gets yak yards that put you where you needed to be. That was huge.
Exactly. Yeah, that was crazy.
How well do you know Micah?
I know Micah real well, yeah.
What can you say about him?
He's a great kid. He's a team leader. He's a kid that's got influence on the team, and the boys believe him, follow him, love him, and he backs it. His actions back up everything that he preaches, and we're happy to have him on the team.
So he makes that big play that puts you in position to kick the field goal to get you to overtime. I'm sure you can empathize with the Tennessee defensive coaches because the only thing that beats you is a guy who gets past you or behind you, right?
Right.
And I know they were pretty frustrated after that game for that.
They were. I haven't looked at the film. I don't know what coverage they were in. I saw the post-game interview, and I guess one guy was supposed to be a little bit farther, deeper back there. But it's just one of those deals. It's sometimes players end up making mistakes that cost you, but sometimes players on our side make plays that give you a chance to win games, and so that was awesome to watch.
Okay, you've coached a lot of games in a lot of great venues. Neyland Stadium, Knoxville, Checkerboard, and as many BYU fans as you saw that night, it all coming together. What do you say about Saturday night?
That was a big-time venue. And I mean, shout out and big ups to Cougar Nation that showed up, and that was unbelievable how many fans we ended up having there. And it was loud when we were on the field on defense, and then it was loud when we were off the field. I mean, it was just a cool venue to be a part of, and I know these kids loved it.
I was listening to some of the audio from BYU's scoring plays after the game, and when Taesan Williams is scoring or when Jake Oldroyd's kick, you can hear stuff. It's BYU fans making noise in that venue. They sounded great.
It is, yeah. They showed up. They showed up, and that was a big time deal for. I was actually talking with one of the coaches pregame. Just they were out there warming up, and you go over and talk to some of the coaches. I found out that there was a Tongan coach on the other side. I didn't know that. I was like, hey, are you the only Tongan in Tennessee? And it's him. The only Polynesian is him and the linebacker.
Henry To'oto'o.
Yeah. And so we were talking. He was kind of looking around. He's like, you guys travel well. I was like, hey man, it's just part of the Mormon Mafia, man. And so he started laughing, but it was cool. I mean, we showed up to that game, and it was fun.
It's one thing when an SEC team shows up to Tennessee with their fans, but when a team from 2 time zones away in the mountains comes and brings that much blue into that sea of orange, it was super impressive. Yeah. All right, let's get to your defensive player of the week. We try and recognize a guy that you thought maybe stood out. We've talked about some great guys who had great plays, but one maybe more than the other, and we're going with Kavika Fonua.
Kavika Fonua did a phenomenal job, and he was all over the field. Did a great job, just making plays, making tackles. Showed up on a couple of big third downs with one TFL, and was really productive. Just overall, just having him back has been huge for us as a defense, especially with the young linebacker core. I mean, he's had the only turnover of the night, and is just a great kid to coach. It's been good.
And as we see here, first career INT for Kavika as well. So that's a little bit of a milestone. And you know Tennessee wanted to be cleaner. They turned it over 3 times in their opener, and they were cleaner. They had only 1, and you guys were cleaner, had no turnovers. And as we talked earlier, that +1, maybe the ball game on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. If we don't get, I mean, if there are no turnovers, you know, I don't know if we have the chance to be where we needed to be, but that was huge for us to get the offense a short field so that we can score and be in striking range and just continue to battle.
All right, as we head to break, we're letting you know that for your daily Cougar Sports play-by-play, tune in weekdays to BYU Sports Nation at noon Eastern Time. Coming up in our final segment, Coach Tuiaki looks ahead to Saturday's game with USC and takes questions from Cougar Nation. You are in the Coordinator's Corner. We're live in Studio C. We're brought to you by JCW's The Burger Boys. Back with more right after this.
I would like to congratulate the men's basketball team on their big win this weekend. I know that one of them is here. I want you to stand up.
Hey, stand up.
It's not me. I'm not on the team.
Then how do you explain this?
I bought it.
He's on the team.
Come on, Jake. There's no need to be humble.
I'm not on the team.
No midterm if he makes this shot. If he misses extra homework.
Gear so legit, they'll think you're on the team. BYU Store.
We both have an overwhelming desire to come in first all the time, no matter what.
I think we're the best team because of our desire to make the experience great for everyone.
Everything in my life since adoption has been about never being able to be told that you weren't good enough.
Are you guys competitive?
Not really.
JD's very competitive. He doesn't like to admit that.
I think there's a misunderstanding there.
Because if I let myself down and I'm going right back to that place where somebody said, not good enough. So losing for me is like not an option because we're competitive by nature, but internally, I don't even see it on the board.
Plus, we've known each other a really long time, so I think we've got a little bit of
See
an
who the
edge.
competitive one is, can you see? Like, she's about the winning. I just want to develop relationships.
He's my best friend, my bodyguard. He's just all around awesome. Pay me later.
Hey, what's the matter, Jake?
Well, I'm just sad because I don't have the BYU TV channel at home, so I can't watch show-offs.
Whoa, that's crazy. You don't have to have the BYU TV channel to watch show-offs.
Yeah, no, I just stream it from BYUTV.org on my computer.
Yeah, and I just have the BYU TV app downloaded on my phone, my tablet, my smart TV.
Well, I can't afford all those things. Buddy, it's all free. Download the app for free, watch it for free.
Yeah, let's go watch it.
Okay.
Let's watch all the episodes.
Let's show off.
Coordinator's Corner is brought to you in part by JCW's The Burger Boys, Bailey's Moving and Storage, more than just a move, Siegfried and Jensen, serving Utah families for over 25 years.
All right, coming off Saturday's inspiring win in Knoxville, BYU hosting a ranked Pac-12 team at LaVell Edwards Stadium, just as the Cougs did 2 weeks ago, and they'll do probably again next week. This Saturday, it's a BYU home to 24th-ranked USC. Defensive coordinator Elisa Tuiaki with us for the preview. What do you already know about the 2-0 Trojans this early in game week?
You know, they're very, very talented. They're a talented team on offense. They've got the freshman quarterback. You know, just looking at stats and looking at just film from game one to game, he could arguably be better than the starter.
That's the thing. I wonder how much better Daniels have to be to get the job, because this kid's really good.
I mean, yeah, he's really good, and he may, you know, sometimes you get a true freshman that comes in, it's a lot more pliable for a coach to take and just make him more obedient. And there's less freelancing and all that, and so he seems to run the system very well. They've got phenomenal receivers. They've got a good running back, and O-line protects very well as runs the ball, and so, you know, they're going to be a tough team to beat, and we've got to play well.
It is the true freshman quarterback in Keeton Slovis. Had an amazing night over the weekend against Stanford. Nearly perfect, really, against the Cardinal, and no shortage of weapons. As you know, it's a big challenge for your guys.
Yeah, we've got to play sound football. We've got to play assignment sound football, which is going to be the key for us. You know, we've got to tackle in space, which is going to be one of the things that'll probably be more of what you'll see this week than you have in the previous weeks. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge.
Interesting to see that his high school coach down there in Arizona was Kurt Warner.
I heard about that. Yeah. I heard about that. He was well groomed.
How about connections on the coaching staff between your guys and their guys?
You know, Chad is there. Chad Kalha'a. We were all together. He and I were together at Utah State first. He and Kalani, when Chad was at Weber, he and Kalani used to recruit together. And so, you know, sometimes when you have a smaller budget, when he was at Weber, he would tag along with Kalani. They'd be in the same hotel rooms. So we're really close. I was with Chad for 3 years there, and then we were together for 2 years at Utah before he left to Wisconsin. Then we were back together at Oregon State. And so he's a close friend of both Kalani and I's, and Kalani's and mine. I don't know what the English is.
It was pretty close, I think, on the second try. Yeah.
But you know, Johnny is another just a Polynesian coach that we're familiar with, and gotten to know the head coach really just recently. I have, but I know he and Kalani know each other really well, and they've got some good coaches on the other side. Baxter, the special teams coordinator, I was special teams coordinator at Utah State for a little bit and coached against him. He's got some Utah ties. He's married to Ron McBride's daughter, you know, and so you kind of start to cross over a lot when you start playing a lot of teams on the West Coast and just coaches that have been everywhere.
Okay, social media for you now from @ColonelJames83. After reviewing the game between USC and Stanford, as you've done, how concerned are you with getting pressure on the USC quarterback in their version of the air raid?
You know, I think if pressure is the answer, then I think that would be a concern. But he gets the ball out so fast. Their timing is really in sync. I think we've got to give him different looks. We've got to give him different looks on the defensive side to make him clutch the ball and to make him feel unsure about where he's throwing. But you know, going back to this last game. You know, we felt like we could probably heat up this guy a little bit more than we did in the first game, and we were actually going over our stats this morning just as a defense, and I think it's 7 out of the 8. Basically, third and medium to third and long, were all blitzes, and we gave them all up. And so it's when we were drop 8 or just rush 4, we were a little bit more stout. And so, you know, to me, it's if the answer is to put more pressure on them as far as blitzing or whatever it is, then you do it. But if the answer is to just keep the ball in front and just play sound football and make them earn it, and keep your team in the game and give your offensive chance to come back out and win the game for you, then I think that's what we're doing. So. This last game was a great testament to just the game plan and keeping the ball in front of us and trying to stop them from big plays and making tackles, make them earn it, not turn the ball over, and then allow your offense to come out and win it. I mean, that was exactly what the game plan was.
All right. Good luck with the game plan this weekend. Thanks, Steve.
Appreciate it.
All right, that is a wrap on this week's edition of the Coordinator's Corner. We are back with you next Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific with defensive coordinator Elisa Tuiaki once again and offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes. For Coach E and special teams coordinator Ed Lamb, I'm Greg Wrubell. We'll see you next Monday right here on BYU TV. So long. Go Cougs.
We got to find some people and make them smile.
Want me to hold that for you? You got that? Okay, they got it. They got it.
Aaron, so we're going to get an early start.
Sweet. Well, we'll be here too, bright and early.
It's going to be a little dark and early, though, at that time.
Oh.
This is fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I mean, this is crazy. Look at this. Look at all these people. Everyone's working so fast to try to get this done.
Get ready to rise and shout